As you've heard, today marks the retirement of Eric Bugaile, our Republican Executive Director of the House Transportation Committee, after 35 years of service to the House and 5 additional years of service on the High-Speed Rail Commission and at California State University in Pennsylvania, for a total of 40 years of public service to this Commonwealth. Joining us today are Eric's wife, Debbie. Debbie, if you'll stand. His daughter, Eric's daughters, Kelsey Sullivan and her husband, Jason. If you'll stand, please. Eric's daughter, Carolyn Butts. Her husband, Stephen, couldn't be here today because of his work schedule, but in his place, he sent Eric's 2 twin grandchildren, 9-year-old Eric and Claire. Please welcome them. We also have joining us a retired member of the House of Representatives. John Taylor from Philadelphia served distinguishedly in this House for 34 years, and he was a prior transportation chair, and he's here to wish Eric well in his retirement. John, if you'll stand, please. This is a bittersweet morning for me, and I think for all of us, as we say farewell to Eric Bugaile after 40 years of service to the Commonwealth. For 32 of those years, actually 35, Eric served first as a research analyst and then for 20 years as executive director of the House Transportation Committee. Excuse me. During that time, he oversaw many changes and many, many more proposals for change to our traffic laws, our highways and bridges statutes, railroad issues, mass transit issues, aviation concerns, pedestrian issues, bicycle and now electric scooters, and even autonomous vehicles, excuse me. He was our liaison for the Pennsylvania Department of Transportation, for the Pennsylvania State Police, and for the Pennsylvania Turnpike. And I asked Eric for some of the highlights of his career over these years. Eric wrote the legislation that became the Young Drivers Graduated License Law, which has probably saved many lives in our Commonwealth. He also oversaw many pieces of legislation on school bus safety regulations. He developed the motor carrier safety and inspection standards, created a task force to rewrite our drunk driving laws, our driving under the influence laws, and he had a substantial part in developing the Public-Private Partnership Act. Eric was also instrumental in crafting Act 89, and that was probably one of the most comprehensive transportation funding packages in our history. Transportation's a very busy committee, and Eric handled his responsibilities, supervised the flow of legislation, and managed the staff extremely well. Most importantly, he has an encyclopedic knowledge and an institutional memory of our transportation history, our statutes, and our codes, and was always helpful to everyone who came to him, with questions and ideas. Outside the committee, outside the Capitol, Eric served for 15 years on the Capital Area Transit Authority. He now serves as chairman of that authority. He was the first state director of the Pennsylvania Rails to Trails Conservancy. He served as the executive director of York County's Rails to Trails project. And he was twice named by the USJCs as an outstanding man in America. Twice named as an outstanding man in America. As many of you know, he loves baseball and ice hockey. He played baseball for many years with York County Adult League and adult ice hockey for 25 years in Rostraver and Hershey. And he always, despite all the community involvement, he always made time for his family. Eric and Debbie have been married for 40 years. They've raised a loving and close family, teaching them to love God and others, and also to love railroads, because Eric has an abiding passion for railroads. He also taught them to love baseball and ice hockey, and now, frankly, he'll have much more time to do that. Eric, we wish you all well, my friend. You leave a large and imposing legacy here in the House. And when Debbie soon sends you back to get another job in retirement, I suspect our paths will cross again somewhere here in the Capitol. Mr. Speaker, we have a citation. I'm happy to be joined by Representative Andrew Lewis to present a citation to Eric to mark his 40 years of public service and so much more civic involvement. Representative? There we are. Thank you all. Could we please have a round of applause and a standing ovation for Eric Bugaile and all he's contributed to our House.
Eric, your dedication to the caucus, to this chamber, and to the citizens of Pennsylvania is so, you were amazing. Your commitment, your dedication, your knowledge, what you have helped members tackle in terms of the depth of the transportation issues in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, it's, there's no one who has done what you have done in that realm and benefiting all the citizens of Pennsylvania. Very hard shoes to fill, my friend, very hard shoes to fill. And I know your service to all of the members, the Republicans and Democrats, to do what was good by the citizens of Pennsylvania has been unfailing. Not a single person, I think, on both sides of the aisle, whenever issues come up in the transportation arena, always seek Eric Bugaile out, have always sought him out and continue to seek him out. Eric, thank you for your dedication. And to your great family, we're going to bring Deborah and the rest of the family up here shortly. They've stood by your side through the long hours that sometimes come with this position. We're so honored that they would all be here today on this very, very special day. Eric, we're honored to have you here, but we're going to miss you. Everybody here is going to miss you. Thank you so much.